You guys miss me? It's been a whole week. Well, it's actually been 2 weeks, right, since the last Vigorous Q&A. But here I am, back in action, going to answer your questions for about maybe 2.5 hours if you're lucky. I'm a little bit sick though. Going to China was wild. For 4 days of heavy drinking and heavy Chinese food, I gained 15 pounds, 7 kilos on the scale, all water. All from MSG, and I lost it all already. So I'm now below 225 pounds again, 100 kilos give or take, after a couple of days of fasting and boatload of cardio. So I look streamlined again, but man, when I came back from China, I was a watery mess. Anyway, I didn't do much this week, just a little bit of preparation, catching up with a lot of consultation and then email requests, signing up a couple new membership, like that 10-hour membership package. So I didn't really prepare much for videos, but hopefully next week we'll get back to recording. I hope you guys liked the Evans and the Pani podcast. That was a blast. Yeah, very open, very transparent. I had a fun time talking to Evan. And maybe there will be some more collaborations in the future. So if you haven't watched it yet, basically it's the previous channel, dropped last Monday. All right, let's just get started with the questions. First one from Emperor Shreve, who's a moderator. Hello, Steve. Many scientists who specialized in cancer state that cancer production is largely due to the decreased oxygenation of cells. Could something like Hypoxen or Bemetil potential cancer treatment? I can't remember reading anything about Hypoxen or Bemetil to be a potential for cancer, but it's been a while since I researched that. And when I researched it, it was mostly in the context of optimizing one's endurance. So I can't say that I found any of the studies that were investigating these kinds of compounds in the context of cancer. But maybe there is some scientific evidence for it, so please type it in, right? You go to PubMed, you type in Hypoxen and cancer and Bemetil and cancer and see if there's any studies. Could it help potentially? If you have cancer, I would not look into a hypothetical potentially. I would look into something that actually works. And of course, oxygenation of cells. I mean, cancer is the most prolific cells of the body, so maybe you want to remove all the proliferate potential like estrogens and androgens and IGF-1 and that kind of stuff and increase your antioxidants. That is supposed to work very well for a multitude of different cancers, but of course there's different kinds of cancers. And I'm certainly not an expert when it comes to cancer or cancer mitigation. Nefarious Noob, what are your top 5 favorite lifts and why? I don't know, man. I don't have a favorite lift. It's to get it done. I like the H squat. That's a lot of fun. The H squat machine. And that's about it, man. I mean, I've done so many lifts and I've done so many exercises and so many machines that I can't really say that I have a favorite. I like to work out. And whatever workouts and whatever exercises I do during that workout, I usually enjoy. I'm happy with my physique. I need to refine it a little bit, but all of the exercises that I do to refine my physique, I enjoy. So I don't know. Go look in the mirror and see how you need to improve and find an exercise that match that, because my favorite lifts might not give you any benefit for your physique. Jason Koch, sagging skin from weight loss, drinking collagen broth. Do you think TB500 would help? Anything else? I lost 40 pounds. 40 to 50 pounds to go. And I don't think TB500 has any skin tightening effects. Didn't I make a video about this, about thinning the skin? I'll link it down below. I mentioned some ideas down there. Let me see. Skinning, or not skinning. Thinning. And we're not Predator. We're not going to turn into Predator. Not quite yet. Let me link it down below. But yes, getting the thin, I mean, maybe glucocorticoid steroid cream occasionally, using a waist trainer, Winstrol temporarily, right, to remove the edema. But I don't think that anything is too permanent. You know, you just got to keep dieting. You just got to keep dieting. And if it doesn't really retract by the end to 6% body fat, then you might have to do the surgery. You know, the collagen might help slightly. The Anavar might help slightly. But dude, I'm taking Anavar, I'm taking collagen, and I still have a loose skin slightly. And the older I get, the more loose and saggy it gets. So it's just age. And I was never overweight. I just have, you know, Ukrainian genetics. And if you saw my grandmother back in the day, I mean, man, I saw her at the beach one time. You know, she was like 50 years old or 55. And this is very imprinted in my memory. So, or was she 60, something like that? You see her in bikini, it just rolls upon rolls. And she wasn't fat, it was just loose skin. So I have the same, skin, albeit not that bad. So sometimes it's just genetics, dude. I tried so many different things, but after a while, you're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm already married. All right, let's start answering the membership questions. Danny Boy asked a very long question, but we're going to go through it fast. First cycle, 43 years old, 300 tests, 400 Primo, 60 Turinabol weekly. Okay, so that's 10 milligrams Turinabol on working days. Workout days, I'm assuming. 4 weeks in, had blood works done. Total testosterone is, let's say, twice out of the reference range. SHBG is towards the bottom of the reference range. Free T is 3 times out of the reference range, and estradiol is 530 picomoles. So that's 3-4 times out of the reference range. Progesterone, that's pretty high. I'm not sure why that's high, but it is what it is. Maybe some of these compounds are detecting as progesterone. I don't think so, though. Taking heaps of over-the-counter supplements already. I have Arimidex and Aromasin on hand. What do you recommend to get my estradiol back into the 150 zone? Okay. So you're not getting any aromatase enzyme inhibition from a 1-to-1 testosterone to primobolan ratio. It could be that your turinabol is actually dianabol. It could be that your primobolan is actually more testosterone. Or you're one of the select fews that doesn't get any aromatase inhibiting effects from the primobolan in this ratio compared to your testosterone. So I would recommend 25 milligrams of Aromasin 3 times a week for 2 weeks, and then check your serum estradiol levels again, and then maybe drop it to 12.5 milligrams. Right, or Arimidex, I mean, it's worse for your lipids than the Aromasin is. I feel Aromasin is a little bit better sustainable for a cycle like that. So that's what I would do. And then you have to keep doing your blood work. Because as your estradiol comes down, your SHBG will come down, freeing up more testosterone, which increases the potential for aromatization also. So it might be a little bit of a fluctuation downwards, but it's very clear that you need to add in an aromasin or aromatase inhibitor and maybe start sourcing better Primo or better Turinabol, because we're not entirely sure why your estradiol is that high. Is it the Primo not inhibiting aromatase enzyme, or is it the Primo actually testosterone, or is it Turinabol actually dianabol? All right, there's different, different results with different brands, and they might label it as Primo or Turinabol, but it might be something entirely different. But the long story short is that your estrogen is way too high, and you're reaching into gynecomastia territory. Benja Heights asks, varicocele fucking with my fertility. My testosterone also fluctuates from 300 to 500. What's your recommendation? Do a fertility protocol and free sperm if sperm is good, or then fuck all and do TRT or have surgery? Well, I would do a cost to benefit. Like, TRT is going to be the cheapest and the least invasive, but if your fertility is already shit, then obviously the TRT plus varicocele is going to make it worse. Maybe you have 0 sperm with, so you won't be able to get anybody pregnant. You might be able to get a varicocele surgery for free through your healthcare provider. So that will be able to resolve it. Then it will take about 3 to 6 months before your fertility parameters are improving. Then you can freeze that and then do the TRT if you want to, if testosterone didn't go from 300 to 500 to, let's say, 600 to 800. Right? If you do a fertility protocol now, and your varicocele is so severe that the HCG and the FSH is not actually getting to your testicles, you're spending a boatload of money on fertility that might not occur. I don't know how bad your varicocele is. I don't know how bad your semen parameters are right now. Your testosterone levels are not that low. They're not crazy low, right? They're not ideal, but they're not crazy low. And if you do a fertility protocol, you would still need to wait 3 to 6 months before you really reap the benefits. But 3 to 6 months on fertility medication is 10 times more expensive than doing a varicocele, again, which might be cheaper or completely free through your healthcare provider. So I would go that route. And if money is not an option, then you do the TRT and the fertility protocol and do that for 6 months and see if you're able to improve your testosterone and your fertility parameters at the same time, right? But on testosterone, exogenous testosterone, your progressive motility and morphology will never be as good as without it, because it's the oxidative stress and just the negative feedback. Nick Woodhouse, what's up, buddy? Hopefully see you in the gym when I return to Thailand. Have you been getting involved in the Andrew Tate meme pump? No, man, I don't do I don't do memes unless it's Dogecoin. He posts next best move in the real world. Dude, nobody gives a shit about Andrew Tate. The only people who sign up for Andrew Tate are men without father figures. And I have a father who took care of me well. No, really. There's nothing about Andrew Tate that I admire. So if you want to follow that guy because you had lack of masculine men in your life, go right ahead. Go fucking right ahead. But I don't follow guys like that, man. It's Dan Bilzerian, Andrew Tate. It's just false idols. Really. If you want to be a man, just be the best man you can be. And if you want to ride sports cars, it's fine. But nobody gives a shit, dude. Nobody gives a shit about riding sports car and fucking a lot of women. Nobody gives a shit. Downsize 1940 asks, how important is spreading your calories out throughout the day? I hate eating and prefer to stuff my face once or twice a day and be done with it. Well, there's OMAD, 1 meal per day, and a lot of people have a good success with that. I prefer to spread it out because the hormonal response that you get from multiple meals seems to be more anabolic than the hormonal response you get from 1 or 2 meals. Right? If you eat 100 grams of carbs and 100 grams of protein and maybe 50 grams of fat in a sitting, so that's 200 protein, 200 carbs, and 100 grams of fat over the day, the hormonal response is going to be vastly different on 2 sittings versus 5 to 6 sittings. Because you get a lot of gluconeogenesis from the protein that you're eating. The insulin release is going to be more severe for 100 carbs compared to 30 carbs per meal. And then, of course, eating 100 grams of protein from egg whites and, let's say, the white potatoes in one sitting is going to be a little bit more difficult compared to having that from steak and rice over multiple sittings with a little bit of vegetables, right? The food volume. In that sense. So do whatever works for you, but I would prefer multiple meals that are nicely balanced, like everything should be. Biscop asks, I feel good, my blood work... Oh, wait. Okay, I guess it's the start of the question. I feel good, and my blood work is good on TRT, 210 milligrams testosterone ethate per week, 325 IUs every other day HCG. I don't want to go any higher. How much would you lower the testosterone to balance for adding 50 milligrams of Deca for the joints? I want to try it out. I would take 50 milligrams testosterone off. And so you go to 160 test and 50 milligrams of Deca. If you don't want to go any higher, then it's very simple. If you're on 325 IUs every other day HCG for testicular function, which is exactly the dose to sustain testicular function, 300 to 305 IUs, then you just take 50 milligrams of test off and add in 50 milligrams of Deca. Will you get more aromatization? Probably. You might still need an aromatase inhibitor or proviron or dimethyl or anything else that I mentioned in the over-the-counter aromatase inhibitor video. Let me link it down below. That was a fun one to make. Because everybody thinks that aromatase inhibitors are the devil. But in reality, bad educators in our space are the devil. And the government. But let's save that for another podcast. So yeah, 50 milligrams test off, 50 milligrams Deca on top. And then do your blood work 4 weeks into it. You might need some aromasin to bring your estradiol levels back into favorable ranges. Lord of Cigars asks, purely hypothetical, if somebody's running TRT 125 milligrams per week, every other day HCG, 250 IUs, so that's 750 IUs total. Cialis 5 milligrams per day. And this being summer, there might be a few grams of magical white snow involved. All right. Yes. Remember the Daredevil, what was it called? The Daredevil trailer. There will be no cocaine in the Daredevil 3. Or not Daredevil, Deadpool 3. And then the blonde lady says, what about something else? Baking powder. So now the Marvel knows all the slang terms. So yeah, we're talking about cocaine here, in case you haven't caught on yet. Over the next few months, do you have any tips for this hypothetical person? Don't do it. Because if you're doing this cocaine a few grams multiple times over the next summer with Cialis, then you're basically asking for a heart attack, just like Dan Bilzerian got. That's how he got his heart attack, by taking vasoconstrictors and vasodilators at the same time, albeit that they took Viagra. So I'm going to have to say, don't do it. If you want to take recreational drugs, come off TRT. If you want to take recreational drugs, take something that doesn't fuck with your central nervous system too much and certainly doesn't fuck with your blood pressure. So that means no MDMA, no speed, no coke, no, well, what else is hip nowadays? But magic mushrooms, LSD, microdoses, or hero doses, that I'm not against on this stack, but multiple times of cocaine and multiple grams of it, I know, I can't get behind it. You have to kind of make a choice, man. Or you're going to do what you're going to do, and then, well, we might hear or might not hear back from you. Don't combine alcohol with cocaine, because that's apparently the worst combination. What aromasin did you usually use? Because I have to perform another microsurgery on those Pfizer tiny slippery round pills trying to quarter it. I might lose my shit. Yeah, I'm using Pfizer aromasin, the pharmaceutical grade one from our good friend AP. Pharmaceutical grade only. Even though I don't like the brand anymore, I mean, Pfizer's crimes against humanity. Well, I had it laying around. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe there will be a class action lawsuit, and at one point Pfizer will no longer be around, and those aromasin tablets might be worth more than they are now. But until that day comes, that's probably your best pharmaceutical option. And yeah, they are tiny and slippery and round. So you need to get a tablet cutter. Let me see if I can find you one on Amazon. Amazon tablet cutter, pill splitter. Don't give me any samurai swords. Yeah, overall pick. It's 2. I'm not logged in. Shit. Well, I guess I won't be able to get my kickback. All right, I linked it down below. This is just an example, but I have something similar. I just slide it in slowly. You position it real nice, all right, with your finger. Then you split that shit in half. And then you position it. So you take this half, you position it like that, and then you cut it into quarters if you need quarters, right? I was taking a half tablet when I'm still running Test and Trenbolone. And now I'm running nothing because I switched to Test and Primo Bolin. Yeah. I will do my blood work at one point. All right. Dubster asks, man, we're so far behind already. Sorry, guys. I'm talking as fast as I can. Dubster Buster asks, hey, Steve, 300 milligrams Bayer Libido per week, 10 milligrams Anavar every day. Before and after Anavar, LDL increased a little bit, HDL decreased a little bit, cholesterol pretty much the same, liver slight increase. Your thoughts on increased 20 milligrams Anavar long-term shutdown is not an issue because you're already shut down from hypogonadism and you're on the Libido train. So I'm not against it, man. I mean, your lipids still look okay. Your LDL increased slightly, but it's far below the reference range. And LDL will never be as good. And plus, it's still over the reference range. So you have a little bit of wiggle room to play with. So go to 20 milligrams and check your lipids and your liver enzymes maybe 4 to 6 weeks into it. And then keep checking it every month, every 2 months to see how bad it gets. At one point, it will be too bad for comfort, and then it's time to come off. But I'm still on 10 milligrams Anavar per day. And I have been for, 8 weeks now? Yeah. But usually the longer you stay on cycle, the worse your lipids get. Hey, Steve, I'm on the cycle for 2 years straight. Here we go. Let's see how bad his lipids are. So 640 milligrams testosterone enanthate, 140 milligrams mast. Enanthate per week, blood work, hematocrit is... Oh, 1 second. Did I get a sneeze? That's a sickness coming through. No, it's not COVID, though. I already did my COVID test. Hematocrit, 46.6. That's because masteron is not anabolic. But it's a low dose. Lipids, HDL 45. That's not too bad if you've been on cycle for 2 years, but it's only test and masteron, so that's pretty moderate. LDL is 106. Pretty okay. Estradiol 79 without any side effects. Okay. Can I run Arimidex 0.25 milligrams every other day to lower E2? All blood work markers are in range. Yeah, I don't see a reason why not. Yeah, throw it in a little bit. I mean, your estradiol will probably come down to 60, 55. Check that in 4 to 6 weeks from now to confirm, and then take it from there. Igor became a YouTube member. I thought you were already a member, dude. But welcome to the Vigorous crew nonetheless. Kevin DJ360 asks, test is 300 nanograms per deciliter. Estradiol is undetectable 3 weeks after the last shot. I am overusing AIs while coming off completely. Do I continue PCT? Yes. Yeah, just stop using the AI and start with the PCT. And then at one point, your luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone levels will come up. Yeah, Steve was a bit late. Guys have no patience. I'm 2 minutes late and they're already start to worry. Did he die? He died. Elkar Akar, welcome to the Vigorous crew. First question right away. Fastest way to get a medical license in Thailand and the cost of it. What would be your guess? A medical school here is 4 to 6 years, just like everywhere else. So you might be able to do a speed project, if that's even possible. And how much would it cost? Well, of course, in a more internationally renowned hospital, it's going to, or a school, university degree, it's going to cost more than a school somewhere else or a school that is not internationally recognized. That being said, all the medical professionals that I know, they studied in the US or the UK or Australia. They didn't get their medical license here, or at least the good ones. I usually, since I'm in a good financial position, I always go with the best medical doctors that speak English very well, so I don't have to go through my wife to ask questions, so I can shit them a little bit before I decide to spend my money there. And all of them have studied abroad. So if you want to get a medical license in Thailand, feel free to go ahead. But all the medical professions that I talk to, they studied abroad for a reason. So is that because the Thai medical licenses are bad? Maybe. Maybe they're not as well renowned and well recognized in private hospitals where the pay is good as international medical licenses. So take that for what it's will. But I've never really dived into it. Yeah. I have no interest in getting a medical license. Looking at Intabolin from Intas Pharma Deca, I recall you saying to avoid Indian stuff, but I can't remember why. Yeah, the arachids oil. Yeah, all the Indian brands uses arachids oil, and arachids oil is highly inflammatory for some people. So I would stay clear. But you can do 0.1 milliliter subcutaneous shots and see how you respond by checking your C-reactive protein a week into that protocol. And then if it's elevated, then I would not use it. Yeah. ITTP is used as an anti-cancer drug and has similar. Oh, okay. I did not know that. It is increasing the inositol tripyrophosphate does increase oxygen affinity for the hemoglobin, and yeah, of course, oxygen delivery to tissue is might be anti-cancerous, but it might also be prolific. So I don't know. I would do a lot of research. Test plus AI the most lipid-friendly way to blast? Well, in my case, it was, and many of my clients, it was. But of course, you're also taking fish oil, citrus bergamot, ezetimibe, other fasted cardio, eating healthy, right? So it's just not throwing test in an AI at it and then praying to the lifting gods that your lipids will be in range, because you also have to put in the work. So it's not just that, but from my personal experience, if you want to make the most gains and have the best lipids, then this is the way to go. Yeah. But of course, you have to go with Aromasin over Arimidex, because Arimidex is worse for your lipids than Aromasin is. All right, super chat time. Just came off 600 tests weekly for 16 weeks. 8 milligrams cardine daily for the last 6 weeks. My HDL's 37, LDL's 58. Are those numbers too low? Well, no, just low numbers. Your LDL to HDL ratio is almost 1.5. So I would say that that's good. And after coming off the cardine and coming off the test and doing a PCT, those levels will change. Your HDL will come up and your LDL might stay low. It depends on how much dietary cholesterol and foods or fat sources you're eating, right? So, and what else you're taking. So it might come back, it might not come worse, but I wouldn't worry about a low HDL and a somewhat reasonably high LDL for the amount of testosterone that you're on. I would say that this is pretty good. These are pretty similar to my levels, running 10 milligrams of ezetimibe, but less testosterone. 150 test, 150 Primo. New Predator remake starring Vigorous Steve. Yeah, I'd watch that. Yeah, but can I be the Predator then? I'd have to work on stilts though, because the Predators are pretty tall. Is there a new Predator in the making? I know that there's a new Alien. I'm gonna watch that in the cinema. That's for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be scary. I did not know that Predator was coming. Prey was good. Prey was the movie, right? 2004, 2002. Predator new movie. 2024 now. Predator Prey 2. I have a feeling I'm getting a lot of fake trailers. Oh, new Predator movie Badlands in the work with. I might have to look into this. Dan Trachtenberg, standalone Predator, Badlands. Okay. Yeah, I might have to make some phone calls, man. If I disappear for 4 months from the YouTube channel, then you know that I'm starring in Predator. But of course, I'll have to sign an NDA because you can't talk about it until the press release starts. Abner, how much tren could somebody do per week without getting trensomnia? That's individual, man. I could even sleep on a gram of tren. I was sweating profusely all night. So it's very individual. I mean, Paul Barnett just started. He did what, 140 milligrams a week? Couldn't take it. I recommended him 25 milligrams a week. I think he did that for a couple days. And then he was like, fuck this. I'm out. So it really depends on the person and how many stimulants you're taking and how late you're taking those, because it all overlaps and it all contributes. So start with 25 milligrams a week and increase with 25 milligrams every week until you no longer sleep well, or you get night sweats, or you get irritable or whatever. And then, lower the dose again. It's just nice and slow, up and down. Yeah, hard and deep until things turn for the worst. TP for my bunghole. I have TRT from my doc and have Deca from him at 80 milligrams a week. I'm scared to take long-term for health issue. I'm almost 50, so the joint relief is a good. Maybe start at 50 milligrams a week and slowly build it up. Yeah. Start at 50 milligrams a week and see what's going on. I mean, are there long-term issues? I've been doing research on Deca. Yeah, there might be heart enlargement. Yeah, there might be neurological changes. That's at higher doses, though, 100 milligrams, 200 milligrams a week. And the only real reason why we know that with Deca and not the other steroids is because it hasn't been studied in the other steroids. So I would say that all steroids can cause heart enlargement, and all steroids are neurotoxic, and all steroids might have kidney toxicity issues. But just because it hasn't been studied doesn't mean it's not the case. Unlike some educators would like to believe, oh, this compound is completely safe. No, you stupid fuck. You fucking retard. It hasn't been studied in this context, so you can't say that it's safe. Absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. But of course, you need a mind and intellect to understand this. And not everybody has that, unfortunately. Some guys were better off just, being electricians, and putting two strings together, or building container homes. Leave the manual labor. Let the thinking to the academics and the guys with actual real educations. So in this case, sorry for getting off on a tangent, but I would say that 50 milligrams Nandrolone is safe if you do your blood work and you do your organ imaging. And at the first sign of trouble, you discontinue and you move on to something else. Top 3 coaches if I want to turn pro. I think any coach can turn you pro, but there's not so many coaches that can have you win pro shows. So I would just go with a guy that you like to work with, that is free, that doesn't have 200 clients, so he has time for you, and that lives in a very similar time zone. Because if you go with a coach that's like a 12-hour time zone away and you're competing and you need information and questions and adjustments right away, then it's going to be hard when this coach is sleeping. Like, I was always awake when my clients in different time zones were competing, but I no longer offer that service. And some coaches are simply not doing that. They just give you a plan. And then they're like, yeah, well, let me know tomorrow, because they're so bored of the entire process. So I would go with a coach in the same time zone, ideally one that can be there with the show, so he can help you with color and calm you down and that kind of stuff. And that might be a coach in your local area, just maybe the best bodybuilder you can find, and just hire him locally. Turning pro is not that it's not that difficult if you are willing to work. The coach is usually there just to kind of land the plane. You're doing the work, and yeah, most people are just not willing to put in the work to turn pro. And you have to act like a pro before you turn pro, and a coach is not going to change it for you. It works better if they're there with you in real life. Jason, I made 43K in Dogecoin. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's do that again. Hey Steve, is it possible with that time UGLs will make pure IGF-1 without adding anything to the molecule? No, I mean all the IGF-1 LR3 and this is coming from China, and I don't think they make IGF-1 like Increlex does. I think it's just not available. I haven't really looked into it, but I've never seen, besides maybe the kick tropins back in the day. I've never seen it on any of the product lists of if for the guys that have ever been to the Shanghai or Indian Pharmaceutical Expo, where you have a lot of these distributors or producers, you never see it on the product list. You see IGF-1, LR3, and this, but you don't see IGF-1 recombinant human grade. You don't see it. So, is it possible? Maybe, or maybe they're scared of the patent, which I mean, they make a growth hormone. So, Increlex and Ipsen Increlex, and the other one was that Iplex. I'm not sure if that's even available, but that's bound to the binding protein, right? I'm not sure if that's even available. IGF-1. Mecarsamin Rinfabate. Haven't seen a package of that. Seen a lot of Increlex though. Yeah. So I know if you can't source Increlex, just go with IGF-1 LR3. That worked better for me than IGF-1 this did. Hey Steve, currently natural, testosterone 650, free 20, LH 2.4, FSH 2.9, prolactin 10, DHA 214, estradiol 13. Thank you for including the reference ranges. Progesterone 0.2. Luckily, most of these I know from the top of my head, but next time please include those. Suffering from low sex drive sensation and daily fatigue. Is that estradiol low? Possibly why? Yeah, it could be. Could be that the reason why your estradiol is low and your LH and FSH levels are low is because you're not sleeping enough. Maybe the numbers on paper are a result of lifestyle. Maybe it's not what you're feeling right now. That's because of the numbers on paper. You're doing something wrong, and that's why the numbers on paper are off. So improve your sleep, improve your nutrition, reduce the stress in your life, and then take it from there, right? Lifestyle usually dictates how high your testosterone levels and how high your libido is going to be. And it's not always about going on TRT or throwing the HCG monotherapy at it or enclomiphene monotherapy or TRT, whatever. Sometimes you just need to change your lifestyle, right? I mean, did you just go through a lot of, how do you say this? Like, I don't know how old you are, but maybe you had a lot of, how do you say this? Exams. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I had exams. Maybe you had a lot of exams, right? Or maybe your exams are finished and you're boozing a lot. All these things can affect your libido and your testosterone and estrogen levels. So maybe write down in your life exactly what you're doing and what you think is going wrong, and then research each of these points to see if that's causing you a low libido. I'll link the first video about things to consider before steroid cycles, because lifestyle, you'd be surprised, man. There's so much things that people are just doing wrong. I mean, testosterone is low. Oh, you're treating your body like a fucking trash can. So maybe change that first. Anyway, those videos are linked down below. But yeah, maybe it's the low estradiol. But how are you going to raise that? Are you eating like a lot of nicotine gum to help you get through exams? So many things, man, that could be going wrong here. He pumped 40 million into crypto yesterday, and his followers got in early free money. Yeah, so that's a pump and dump. Good luck. Good luck, man. Just like that other guy. These guys will make millions. Fucking pump and dump pieces of shit. I've been in crypto since 2015, man. Almost a decade. I've seen so many scams. I don't listen to any of these losers. I got Steve singing about TRT before GTA 6. Yeah. I really hope that Joe Rogan is hosting one of those radio channels in GTA. That is a rumor. Steve, I got red hot itchy lumps when doing TRT SubQ. I'm using Pharma prescription. I have tried cottonseed, grapeseed, MCT oil. Nothing is working. What do you think is causing this reaction? It could be that you're allergic to benzyl benzoate and benzoyl alcohol. So that's going to suck because there's not many products out there that don't contain benzyl benzoate or benzoyl alcohol. Libido doesn't contain any benzyl alcohol, just benzyl benzoate. So you could try that. The problem is that benzyl benzoate metabolizes into benzyl alcohol. And it could be that you're just in a very high histamine environment, and that any injection right now that you're doing is just causing an allergic response, high histamine. So maybe try some Zyrtec or another antihistamine to bring these hot, itchy lumps down, and stop TRT for 2 weeks. Right? You'll still be okay. It takes 4 to 6 weeks before the exogenous testosterone really metabolizes, but it usually takes a week or two for the oil to metabolize. So you stop injections. You take an antihistamine for 2 weeks, you stop the antihistamine, and then you try with the exact same brand you're using now. And by that time, maybe the histamine reaction is gone, and you're no longer getting these itchy lumps. And if that's still the case, you need to homebrew an MCT oil by yourself without benzyl benzoate or benzyl alcohol, or go with the dermal cream. Yeah. Or well, the andriol tablets, but that's, I don't know, I'm not a real big fan. So hope that sends you in the right direction. Scroll down. Why is some Anavar made in capsules? Any tips for splitting caps? Because it's underground labs and they don't have access to a tablet presser, so they put it in capsules. So basically, you get a big bowl, and normally you put salad or popcorn in there. You get a clean bowl, obviously, not after the salad or the popcorn. Definitely not the popcorn. You throw in a binders or powders, and then you mix in the Anavar, you stir that up, and then you take a capsule and just cap it until all the powder is gone. And then one capsule might contain a gram, 1.2, or another one 0.8. Right? This is underground labs. So, and of course you have those trays, right, where they put the capsules in, and then they use the microgram scale, and it's a little bit more professional. But a lot of these guys are complacent. And then you don't get so good quality. So I would rather go with a brand that produces in tablets, so at least you know that they're using a machinery that measures it accurately and presses it properly. But even then, it could still not be homogeneously pressed, and some tablets could have more API than other tablets. So this is why we have pharmaceutical Anavar is getting less and less and less and less and less. Besides the Iberane and I think that's it, right? Iran Hormone. Those are the only two brands that pharmaceutical are available. Bonivar is gone, and the Oxandrin in the US is gone. So you have compounded Anavar. That's probably okay. Any tips for splitting up capsules? You either get a microgram scale. So you measure the contents of the capsule, and then you split that in half. You can do it by eye, right? You open it up, you put it in a little piece of paper, you split it with your credit card. Don't snort it, right? That's another kind of party. You split it by eye, and then you have half the dose. And if you can't do that, then you empty the cap in the back of a 3 milliliter syringe. You draw, I don't know, 1 cc of Everclear, shake it up real good, and then drop however much milliliters or 0.1 milliliters you need to dose it in 1 milligram servings. Right? There's always a way. On 120 milligrams TRT, I'm a golfer trying to increase swing speed. What would be your ideal dose of Turinabol? B. And would you hypothetical golfer cycle? I do plenty of cardio, lightweight training. Thanks for everything you do. I don't know, 10, 20 milligrams Turinabol, and I think that's it. Because you don't need stamina. All you need is swing speed. And Turinabol has been extensively studied in athletes, including discus and that kind of stuff. So I will link the Turinabol. I think that's the best. Maybe Anavar, maybe Anavar. I don't think you need Nandrolone. I mean, joint hand-eye coordination is mostly amoxapine and you know, nootropics. Maybe what you should do, let me link her Instagram down below. She actually has a lot of experience with TRT and golfers. That's how she started. What was her name? Shit, now I forgot. The name eludes me. I'm sure she has. There, Allie Gilbert. So she has a lot of experience coaching guys on TRT that are golfers. That's how she started. So maybe give her a call or a question. She's not as expensive as I am. And she'll be able to help out because I'm, yeah, here, Golf Digest Top 50. So she actually helps guys with their golf. And she might be able to recommend you a little bit more than TRT specifically aimed toward golf. I know she's a woman, but she's on the TRT train herself, and she's coached many a guy. So give her a call and see how she can help because I'm not too familiar with golf. And I don't mind spreading the love to other experts in the fitness industry. But I would look into the optimized endurance deep dive. All right, there's 7 different videos or something. Then look for the nootropic segments, the amoxapine, the Mexidol, that kind of stuff. Amoxapine, especially, that's very good for hand-eye coordination. Then for the choline segment of the entrepreneur deep dive. And then Turinabol, I've already linked that down below. Already Turinabol deep dive. Read that article or the publication discussing how Turinabol was used in the German Democratic Republic state doping plan. Because I think Turinabol is probably the best oral steroid you could take if you want to increase your swing speed. Because for the discus throw and the what is the I don't know, the thing that you throw far, that one was quite improved at that time. Nicholas, what's up? Made it out of the anabolic life in time. What, you dumped those guys for me? That's horrible. Oh, Bangkok as well. Yeah, I might be coming down to Patty at one point or another, so I hope to see you there. But I'll let you know in the group when I'm swinging down. Golfer cycle. Hey, man, there's performance enhancing drugs for everything. So why the fuck not? Can glutathione be done SubQ? Recommend this method. I would do intravenous. I prefer that. But if you want to do SubQ, it's better than no glutathione. That's for sure. Yeah, go for it, man. Uncle Steve, oh God. Do you think that dissolving stearic acid powder in MCT would increase the viscosity? I don't know, man. You have to ask Chase Irons. I have no idea about home brewing. Or go with something that. Why is my color off? Why is the color of this live stream so off? It looks good here. This is me or is my live stream color horrible? Maybe it's compressed. It's good here. 1 second. I need to be handsome for you guys. Filters. How does it look now? Oh, it's even worse. All right, well. Can't get any more handsome than this, guys. I don't know about dissolving stearic acid powder in MCT oil. I would not inject that. You get enough stearic acid from the supplements that you're taking, so I don't know, man. Why did men have me watching the weird porn? Not even Trend messed me up sexually, lol. Well, the trick with Ment is that you have to go really, really high to the point you balance yourself out. No, don't. That's a joke. Don't do it. I don't know, man. Progestogenic signaling from Ment and Trembolone is horrible. I was a sexual deviant a little bit as well, but my wife loved it, so it's all good. I had a good 6 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, so it's what's gotten into you? It's a trend. You better enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, Shangri-La in Nanning, China, did not know what happened to it. Big strength gains, exactly. Seriously, 50 milligrams every other day. Jesus, yeah, that's pretty heavy. Okay. Isaiah, what do you think would happen if one took, say, 250 to 500 milligrams weekly and 2.5 milligrams letrozole daily? Would this stress HDL levels? Yes. And this is a protocol that we would use at the end of contest prep. And 2.5 milligrams letrozole is very potent. Your estradiol would basically be zero. Let's see, Dumpster Buster, this Fedosia. Yeah, I don't know this compound. I mentioned that already in the private where you can ask questions. I have no idea what dapagliflozin does. I know empagliflozin. I've researched that, but empagliflozins. I can't really say that it did anything for bodybuilding. Did it keep the water retention off? Did it help with fat loss? I took it a couple times during cheat meals, and I was pissing a fuckload of sugar because I could smell my urine smelling like honey. So you're maybe preventing yourself from having high blood glucose levels during the time you're having a cheat meal. It's great for, hitting up the hotel buffet and then finishing off strong at the dessert aisle, 2 or 3 plates. But that's the only practical application, man. Should have brought that to China so I didn't blow up so bad as I did. But it's a diabetic medication, so if somebody prescribes this for you, then obviously you need it. But I think pros for bodybuilding, blood glucose control, but it could also mean that you're peeing out too much glucose, making it more difficult to fill out. But if you're type 1 diabetes, then yeah, of course, you need it medically. That reminds me, Steve, that OG Predator was supposed to be Van Damme. Yeah, I heard that. Running around in a red rubber chicken suit. You can find some footage on YouTube from before they changed it. Yeah, it's early drafts of movies are very, very funny to read about. I mean, who was supposed to be Superman at one point? Nicolas Cage. Can you imagine Nicolas Cage being Superman? Hilarious. Even though I did give him a tribute in that Flash movie, which ended up being horrendous. Oh man, that Flash movie was so bad. Whew. Klim Hyder on 250 milligrams or 280 milligrams Primo, 175 tests per week, total testosterone 1500, so that's undetectably high. It's probably higher. Estradiol's 37, SHBG is crushed, 8 nanomoles per liter, added in 200 milligrams Deca per week. How can I raise my SHBG injection frequencies every day? You're not going to raise your SHBG on this cycle. It's just not going to happen. I'll still link the SHBG video down so you can get some ideas. But, the only thing you can really add in is Nolvadex or clomiphene, which I would say Nolvadex is probably a better idea since you're going to add in Nandrolone, which will increase the potential for aromatization, and your estradiol levels are already at the top of the reference range at this much testosterone. So your estradiol might end up at maybe double this, just arbitrary number, because your aromatizable compounds are doubling. So you're on 375 milligrams aromatizable compounds, and you're only on 280 milligrams Primo, so that's less than a 1-to-1 ratio. And one of the metabolites of tamoxifen, norendoxaphene, is a potent aromatase inhibitor, which will also raise SABG. You can try 8CG alongside of this. Your Nandrolone dose is not high enough to the point that 8CG will no longer work or be effective or be less effective. So 250 IOs to 500 IOs 8CG 3 times per week, which will certainly increase your estradiol levels with this much Nandrolone. So you might need Nolvadex. But then again, Nolvadex is linked to blood clots and lowering IGF-1 levels. So just get used to having low SHBG, man. Yeah. Or you have to come off for a while. Yeah, but nobody wants to do that. I came off for a year. It was horrible. Do not want. Swole Cow. Hey, Steve. What's up, bro? What's up? Brad Miller, going to start off-season cycle in August. Currently have tested Boldenone, Nandrolone, Anadrolone, Trembolone, and Tate. What is the best way to use those at a minimum effective dose for best results? Well, you could just run testosterone and eat a lot of food. Maybe 50 milligrams to 200 milligrams of Nandrolone. I don't know, man. I don't know your personal development. I don't know how much food you're eating. You should add in some growth hormone. You should add in some insulin if you really want to grow. So let me give you the cycle based on what you did. 250 test, 250 Boldenone, 50 milligrams of Nandrolone. For the first 12 weeks. Add in some insulin, add in some growth hormone, add in some IGF-1, LR3. I don't think you need more than 250 test, 250 boldenone, and let's say 100 milligrams nandrolone. That's already 600 milligrams a week. Most guys in the off season can grow plenty of that with test, GH, and IGF-1 in the mix. And then later on, if you want to push through plateaus because you can't physically eat anymore, and you're already doing the periactin and the MK677 and you know the vertical diet and wherever else, okay, throw in the anadrol, and that's it. Or maybe to replace the nandrolone for the trenbolone enanthate to speed up your metabolism and increase feed efficiency, so you don't really have to eat more food, but the feed efficiency for the 5,000, 6,000 calories that you're eating is now increased, so you put on more size. And that's how you could do it. But yeah, so you run 250 test, 250 boldenone, and instead of 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams nandrolone, you run 50 to 100 milligrams of trenbolone enanthate with 25 milligrams anadrol sublingually pre-workout for 4 to 6 weeks at the end. And then you throw in the towel. Then you go on a cruise. Test in GH, 200 tests, 2 IUs GH. Keep the food high, but not so high to the point you get fat. Let all that strength and muscle mass marinate. And then once it's all marinated and your metabolism is still high, but you're not too fluffy, then you start your contest prep cycle with test and boldenone. And then you diet hard. And then you throw the anadrol in the end to blunt your appetite and to keep you full. Right? And then you maybe throw in the trenbolone enanthate. So you see that it doesn't really matter what you use during the off-season or cutting phase. It's about fucking calories. You get it? Coached by Roland, if I'm tired all the time, having high blood pressure, no water retention, echo from heart and artery says I'm perfectly healthy, I have to come off, I have to come off it for how long, or change from test to Deca base. I'm tired all the time and have high blood pressure. Sounds like somebody who has sleep apnea or sleep issues. So I would do a sleep study and get your water retention. Well, you said you have no water retention. Sounds like somebody with sleep apnea or sleep issues. So maybe get a sleep study done and check your estrogen levels, because maybe you think you don't have water retention, but you know, if you have high blood pressure, then yeah, there's something going on. And maybe start supplementing with magnesium. Maybe you're magnesium deficient. Magnesium is very important for energy levels and blood pressure management. 200 milligrams magnesium bisglycinate with every meal, so 1,000 milligrams magnesium bisglycinate over the day, or citrate, whatever you prefer. Igor, is it me or does every bodybuilder look better on prep and worse on stage? Yes. Why is that if it's not true? The camera or light as well, because when they step on stage, they can't control which pictures go out, and in social media you can. So everybody's in the good lighting on social media, and everybody selects which pictures they take when they're fully flexed. And then you get on stage, and then you're reliant on 50 different photographers who have to post pictures of 400 different athletes. And then you're bound to get some pictures with your shit. So, yeah. And of course, the live stream quality is never as good as being there in real life. And a lot of guys that just think they look good in real life, and they're like, oh, I'm going flat, so they don't want to push it any harder, otherwise I'm going too small. And then they look on stage, they look like a fat piece of shit, and they say, I spilled over. No, you stupid fuck. You were just not in shape because mentally you can't deal with it. I can't deal with it mentally either. That's why I don't want to do contest prep. I have better things to do, but I'm not pretending to be a competitor and then stepping on stage looking like a waterlogged, glazed turd. So at least I'm not even trying. But I see it more than not. A lot of guys just don't have what it takes, man. They think they're in shape. They think they have a couple lines in their glutes. And even if they're perfectly peaked, because they're still 12 weeks out, they look fat on stage. They might look good in the gym. They might have a lot of yes men around them. And they might have a couple coaches around them telling them, so, dude, you're 16 weeks out. No, dude, I look in shape. I'm competing in 2 weeks. No, you're 16 weeks out, you stupid fat piece of shit. And they still step on stage. I've said it around me many, many times. You're 16 weeks out. Why are you stepping on stage? Don't want to listen to me, man. They got too many yes men in their corners. It's not like I haven't prepped people for 15 years. And even though I'm getting a little bit rusty, I still know what an in-shaped person looks like. So, bodybuilding, man, it's very popular, but it's not for everybody. Ori, Sleep and diet is pretty dialed in. I'm 35. Could supplementing DHA and help with low estradiol and libido? Could be. Could be. I don't know what your levels are. And if you have low estradiol and low libido, what is the other cause? Is that the chronic weed smoking? Is it low body fat levels because you're chronically dieting all the time, right? That can result in low estradiol and low libido too. Is it high stress? Try to pinpoint the root cause before you throw the kitchen sink at it. And DHEA and pregnenolone without testosterone base, I don't think is a good idea because DHEA increases testosterone, converts to estradiol, and then before you know it, it kills your LH and FSH levels. So I think DHA and pregnenolone solo is good if you're an elderly and your HPTA is already downregulated, and that's why you're androgen deficient. But if you're 35 and your testosterone, estradiol, or testosterone is high but your estradiol is low, maybe your body fat levels are low, or maybe you're taking a lot of nicotine, right? I mean, I'd need to know the full story. Just answered this already. No need to spam. James B, you look good, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, now I'm a bit more colorful on screen again. Maybe it's my screen. Maybe I get the diabetic neuropathy. I'm looking at the screen like, fuck, is it me? It was completely gray before. I have a little filter on this laptop. Maybe it was turned off. So if I switch between, yeah, maybe it didn't turn off on. Oh well. Sometimes I'm not turned on either. Like today. Stop tripping. Fuck, man. I haven't taken something at least a couple months. So, but I did fast for 4 days. We had a lot of berberine and metformin to get all the fucking water off. My God, man, I was so bloated, dude. Fuck. Let me see if I can find a picture. Here. Look at my face, dude. What the fuck? Look like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he gets in the Martian atmosphere. Do you have any better ones? Yeah, this one is also good. Here, look at this face. Smoking cigars. Fuck, man. 15 pounds. Oh, I'm back to where I should be. China, dude. MSG every corner. Jason, go. Man, you keep donating and I keep answering. Last one for today. Should I really stop messing with Garen until I'm lean? No, just keep a little bit of TRT in until you're 50 pounds down. But mint will add some water, will make your skin look looser. Mint is not really good for fat loss, even though some of the evidence shows that the subjects that took mint testosterone replacement therapy, right, did lose some fat. So I would just do TRT until you're lean enough, your skin is retracted, and then if you want to use something like Anavar and a low dose of Tren that has been shown to inhibit the glucocorticoid receptors, and that might help with localized fat loss, especially around the waist. So test Tren and Anavar. I mean, I did it for 6 weeks, and I fucking mutated, dude. I mutated. Show the chest is now not as good as it was before. But it's still okay. Yeah, it's definitely not as good. Tiny. Well, that's what you get when you fast. All right, where are we? Uyu. What the hell? What? Uyu to USD. Uruguayan peso. Uruguayan pesos, 300. All right, $7. Much appreciated. Uncle Steve. Why does everybody call me Uncle Steve, man? I'm not that old. Is it true that methindriol dipropionate increases androgen receptor sensitivity? Methindriol propionate. When I was researching the androgen receptor sensitivity video, I did not get anything about this compound back, but basically all androgens, regardless of ester, increase androgen receptors and thus sensitivity. And this one probably also couldn't find any scientific information about it. Only in the book Chemical Muscle Enhanced, they mentioned that. Can you email me that book on Instagram or info@vigorsteve.com so I can have a look? There's a lot of steroid books without proper citations, but I'm changing that. That's why every fucking video is properly cited. I do full citations and links, not to PubMed. No, to the full study. To the full study. Who else does that? Who fucking else does that? It should be the norm, but I'm going to make it the norm. Fucking bitches. So I did not know that that's the case. Send me that book. Let's have a read. Maybe I can make an addendum video. I mean, if you go to the androgen receptor video and you go to the pinned comment, you see there 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, no, this is something else. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27 citations. So I'm not one of those assholes that does one citation. I read one study. No, I do the full meta-analysis. And I show you pros and cons study, which I did in that video for androgen receptor sensitivity. I showed you all the studies, summarized them. I presented the pro androgen receptor sensitivity studies and the against androgen receptor sensitivity study in the context of taking steroid. So, yeah, who else does that? So I would like to see this book, The Chemical Muscle Enhancement, and let's see if I can pull some data from it. But basically, all androgens increase androgen receptor sensitivity and density. Yeah, or at least the one studied. And Cialis apparently does that also, so it's a perfect combination. Maybe that's how Cialis works, right? It increases your androgen receptors in the penile tissue. And then what little DHT is floating around is then activating it. Zaya, the estradiol I get on 2.5 milligram letrozole is 8 picograms per milliliter. Just don't want to raise estradiol levels with tests. No one talks about how strong letrozole is. Can't apply it. Everybody talks about how strong letrozole is. That's why we used it during contest prep for the last 2 weeks to crush estradiol levels, buddy. So I don't know where you're getting your information from. But why don't you run a little bit of aromasin? Because estradiol doesn't have to be 8 picograms per milliliter unless you want to kill your dick or you're stepping on stage. But I would just run a moderate dose of aromasin. And a lot of guys can get away with testosterone and masteron, or testosterone and Primo, or testosterone and boldenone, or testosterone and boldenone, or testosterone and proviron. So there's plenty of alternatives. And there's even over-the-counter aromatase inhibitors like nicotine or dinomethane, or at least methods to lower your estradiol levels, which I mentioned in that video. So you don't have to go to the letrozole dose. And otherwise, you cut those tablets in quarters and use maybe 2 quarters a week. That's, what is it? 2.5 divided by 4, 0.625 milligrams. Yeah, because you would use half a milligram of Arimidex twice a week. So a milligram for milligram, I believe that Arimidex is a little bit more potent in aromatase enzyme inhibition. But since the letrozole tablets are 2.5 milligrams and the Arimidex tablets are 1 milligram, then everybody thinks that the letrozole is more potent, but it's 2.5 times the fucking dose. Of course it's going to be more potent, right? What did you expect, bruh? Let me scroll down. All right, no membership questions. We need to blood Steve. We had a blood Derek. Oh, God. I'm not popular enough, and there's only adults in the chat. Well, mostly adult. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, now you're laughing at how I looked, right? Hey, man, all the guys were all over me. Oh, wait, that came out wrong. I went to the gym in China, and I got recognized. It was hilarious. There's some pretty big gym in Nanning next to the Shangri-La Hotel. It was in the IMAX theater, some dodgy lift at the back of the building. Couldn't find it. Took me 30 minutes walking around the IMAX theater to find that gym. And then I go up and I walk in and I see a little bodybuilder train in a full gasp outfit. And he looks at me and he's like, didn't speak a word of English. Anyway, we had a good time. So he must have seen me somewhere. Yeah. And then I met another guy at the gym later on. He was a bigger bodybuilder who recognized me. He spoke a little bit of English. And he was very happy to see me. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. That was pretty cool. James B, what are your thoughts on deload weeks, training a week off for natural lifters? I'm natty and will remain so until I lift 6 plates. Take a deload when you need it, man. It's that simple. You can do a deload at 50% the intensity or a full week off. I took a full week off this week, probably because I drank so much and I was sick and I was due for a deload anyway. So and I fasted for 4 days to kind of get the water off and the fat off that I put on in China. So once in a while, it's okay, man. And then next Monday, I'm super motivated to get into the gym. And I did the same thing when I was drug-free. I would train maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And at one point, I was fried. And then I would just not go to the gym. That's my deload. And you can go to the gym and lift at 50%, but I'd rather spend that extra hour working or, watching porn, something like that. Just doing something different. So you get that, you go to the gym again and you're like, yeah, I haven't been here in a week and now I'm mad motivated. So that's the exact same thing I will do next week. Did I say masturbate? I meant watching movies. Yeah. Uncle Steve, because you're a fountain of researchers and open discussion. Can't they just be like Daddy Steve? Uncle sounds, I don't know, sounds dirty. And in China, they said it also. Uncle Steve. D, $5. It's not the biggest D, but still D worth taking. That's what she said. What would be your advice to recover libido from using spironolactone and estradiol on and off throughout my early 20s? My case is unique. I would have to see some blood work, man, because if the spironolactone and the estradiol has been out of your system for such a long time already, then it might not just be androgen receptor blockade or elevated estradiol levels. Could be some sort of neurotransmitter issue. You probably need to do a consultation, or I would need to see your blood work. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint that right now. I need to see full blood work. So check the rates, and if that's affordable to you, then give me an email. Main man, Uncle Steve, keeping the citations proper. Have to, dude. So at least I give you the power to make your own assessment, right? And if you don't agree with my interpretation of the scientific evidence based, through the filter of my experience, then you're free to do so, because I put the citations there like any good researcher should do. And in the end, I'm a researcher presenting the information to the best of my abilities. But you might not have to agree. That's fine. I give you all the power to do more research. Wait, so if androgen increased androgen receptor density, then running VAR and then cycling off would increase your ability to gain muscle? No. They stay elevated while you're taking the androgens. And some studies show that they return back to baseline after a couple of weeks, and this is why we keep incrementally building up the dosages. So by increasing the androgens, you get more androgen receptors again, and then you have a cascade of progression. But no, they don't stay upregulated after you come off, unfortunately. It's probably also the case that 3-alpha or 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase and glucuronidation and all the enzymatic metabolic pathways that break down steroids also upregulate. So, how much of a result you get, there's always diminishing returns. But we'll discuss that in the upcoming anabolic roundtable with Kurt Havens and Dr. Dean St. Martin. Yeah, we'll do a deep dive. We'll record on the 26th, so that's about 2 weeks from now. Yeah. Can't believe it's already been 3 weeks since we recorded. I had to spend the whole week on the overlays, okay? Takes time. Kidding, I think you're my younger brother. Everybody wishes to have a younger, cooler brother like I do, or like I am. Yeah. Uncle Steve, is Thailand a territorial-only tax system? I have no idea. They're trying to incorporate taxes here, but there's always a workaround. So, but there's nothing concrete. And there might not be anything concrete for a very long time. So this is Thailand, man. You got to go with the flow. Austin Fender. Let me see if there's a question attached to that. I don't see anything yet. All right. D. Advice for recovering libido. No, I already answered that just now, buddy. So please use the timestamp. Skip back 3 or 5 minutes. Last time you spoke about Iron Claw. What's this week's Vigorous movie? I just watched the entire season of Three Body. Man, did I already forgot it? Three Body Dilemma? Three Body Problem. That was good. It's a series. And I'm watching, what is it, Dark Matter? Dark Matter, I like that better. It's a little bit more of a mystery. Vigorous movie. Did I watch a good movie recently? Not really. Looking forward to Deadpool, but that's another month and a half away. No, everything I've watched recently has been very lackluster. I watched Boy Beats World or Boy Kills Planet. Boy Kills World. That was kind of boring. Boyka Undisputed. That might be a better movie. Well, I watched Furiosa in the cinema. I enjoyed that a lot. But I think it did very well at the box office, or did very poor at the box office because everybody's tired of girl bosses. And she was a little bit of a girl boss, but it was not that bad. But since there's been so many girl boss movies recently, it kind of bombs because everybody's sick of watching it. After the Marvels and Star Trek Discovery. Jesus fucking Christ, that's not my Star Trek, dude. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, that's my Star Trek. But Star Trek Discovery, fuck, man, terrible. So yeah, Furiosa was great. I loved it. Yeah, Furiosa was great. Good stuff. Mitch, welcome to the Vigorous crew. What's up? Yo, uncle, much better than Hey Daddy. Yeah, I don't mind being called Hey Daddy. Hi, Papi. I haven't heard that in a while. Iron Metal. Go-to medication, subdietary training advice to increase HDL. Jeez, didn't I just mention that? ApoE and lipoprotein A always good, but HDL rarely exceeding 40 milligrams per deciliter. Helping us stay healthy. Okay, citrus bergamot, berberine in combination. 500 milligrams citrus bergamot in the morning, 500 milligrams citrus bergamot in the evening, and 500 milligrams berberine alongside of that seems to increase HDL with maybe a couple points. Fish oil with every meal, at least 500 to 800 milligrams EPA and DHEA every single meal. Ezetimibe to lower your ApoE B and lipoprotein A. Testosterone lowers ApoE B and lipoprotein A. HDL will go up from doing daily fasted cardio and eating a lot of healthy fats. And that's about it, man. You can try niacin, you could try garlic extract, but I never really found that to have a tangible effect on your HDL. D3, DHT was 33, while natty on 500 with 500 tests. Okay, yeah, I had to read that again. Now TRT is 200 milligrams per week, testosterone 1500, DHT is 30. Okay, so it came down a little bit. Both times on finasteride. And here's why. No, well, finasteride, you get the maximum inhibition regardless of how much testosterone you have, because it's inhibiting the 5-alpha reductase enzymes. It's not inhibiting the testosterone. Of course, it's inhibiting the conversion. But at the 1 milligram dose, you get the maximum inhibition. So whether you have 500 tests or 1500 tests, you're inhibiting the enzymes. So if the enzymes are all inhibited, it doesn't mean that it's increasing. So that's basically it. It doesn't matter. Well, I would prefer to have a DHT that's just sky high for dick function, but not everybody cares about that, I think there's a cat outside. Let me double check real quick. False alarm. False alarm. Augustin. Ravioli. Hey, Steve, just send the book PDF to the mail. All right, let me see. Which mail, though? No viruses, please. Do I have a virus scanner on this laptop? Show more options. Fuck, man. I don't have a virus scanner on this laptop. Well, I'm gonna take a chance. Control F. Dipro. Methendrianol dipropionate. So many GH books, and people ask me to make a GH book or an androgen book. I'm like, why? There's so many out there already. Something I liked about methendiol dipropionate is noted ability to clean out androgen receptors. Often individuals who had experienced so-called receptor burnout finally utilized methendiol dipropionate product to discover new gains. Like I said, it's just purely anecdotal. There's no citations. Who fuck wrote this? Oh, Arthur Ray. Oh. Yeah, I would take some of his stuff with a grain of salt. And is it even available? He also wrote Building the Perfect Beast, right? That was an interesting read, though. And all these old books, man, take it all with a grain of salt. And again, what's the point about doing research if we can't use these drugs? If you can find the drugs, just send me a link. All right? Then we can talk. Then we can talk. But if you can't find any scientific evidence about it, then again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't think people mind girl bosses so much, but rather the feminist, terrible, written, perfect at everything girl bosses. Yeah, yeah. Because in the 90s, we had girl bosses. I mean, if you watch the old Star Trek, I mean, Jadzia Dax, and basically all the female characters in Deep Space Nine, I mean, they were a little bit of girl bosses, but they also had a vulnerable side, right? So, but nowadays, all these characters, there's no real vulnerable side. There's no femininity. There's no sexiness. There's no poise. It's just, I don't know, bitches. Called bitches, right? They think that they're better than everybody else. So it's a major turnoff. And let's be honest, the biggest audience of the cinema is still men. So you got to cater to the guys that are paying the tickets. And if women are going to the cinema, then who's paying the tickets for them also? It's the men. So if we're buying, I pay tickets for my fucking wife. So if we're buying the tickets and you're just making girl boss movies that are perfect at everything, Rings of Power. Who the fuck wants to watch that shit after a while? You know, you don't. That's why I'd rather watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Shit, man. Even you know. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's just a sign of the times, dude. It's okay. That's why Disney is going under. That's why Disney and everything that they touch is dying. What is the best permanent risk reward biohack at 19? All right. I'll see you later, Mohammed. 60 milligrams testosterone cypionate, SubQ 2 times a week, HCG 1000 milligrams 3 times a week, 10 milligrams Anavar per day. After 4 weeks, my LT AST and button are elevated. Is this normal with VAR? Yes. Yes, welcome to the club. You think you were just going to walk away without any side effects? It's just part of the game, man. Blood urine nitrogen is elevated, but you can get that down with water, and your liver enzymes are elevated probably from training harder and maybe a little bit of liver stress. You can get that down with Tate. So you should have known this before you started. Any ideas why DHT went down on TRT? I just answered that. It's just a moment in time. It went down from 33 to 30, right? If the finasteride dose didn't change, then it's just a moment in time. It's a 10% change. Course, 2000. It's dark red, so it must be a lot, but let's have a look. Okay, so Macendrianol is available. All right. Where is this? Underground lab, though. Well, 30 milligrams per milliliter. But it also has boldenone. Yeah, what is doing what? Anyway, the tried and proven compounds are there, so I wouldn't even touch it. Ars. All right. Ars to USD. I'm curious. Argentinian pesos. How much was it? 2,000. It's $2. StreamYard, why you doing me like this? Hey, Steve, I got 170 picograms per milliliter estradiol and 375 milligrams testosterone and a Tate 3 times per week. So it's what, a gram? Or you're injecting 125 milligrams 3 times a week. However, no gyno or blood pressure issues. A bit of erectile dysfunction, but it could be well for my mind playing tricks on me. Switch to daily injections and add it in 300 Primo. Opinion. Well, if you already made the change, so you're doing 125 milligrams test and a Tate 3 times per week, but now you're going to that plus Primo every single day, SubQ or intramuscular. Check again in 4 weeks and then see if you need an aromatase inhibitor. Aromasin, 12.5 milligrams 3 times a week, or 6.25 milligrams 3 times per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It depends on how much your estradiol reduced. Continue for 4 weeks, check your estradiol levels again, and then let's see if you need further adjustments. One of the previous lives, somebody asked that minor changes. Igor. Really? I can't remember. All right, we're at the bottom. Now we can answer some questions that are fun to answer. Have you made any changes to your daily supplement stack? No, that we reviewed that a couple weeks ago. And yeah, so this is the one in the previous lives. So minor changes. I should review it, but honestly, the supplement sales that I get from that article are not that great. So it's I'd rather just make new videos. It's pretty much the same, man. It's pretty much the same. Why does no one sell DHT gel? PCT marked did, and then every time I promote it, it's out of stock. So they're like, put me higher in your source list. I'm like, well, if you have Andrectim cream in stock, then yes, but it's always out of stock. Scroll up. If you prefer to be called Daddy, we might be the wrong audience. Well, you called Noel Daddy, Daddy Noel Diesel. Why can't it be Daddy? Yeah, maybe not. Just call me Vigorous One. Uncle Steve. Fuck it. I'll take it. Steve, how to take steroids if you have general hypochondria and general anxiety? Get that resolved first. Yeah, man. There's not a cure for everything, dude. If you're worried about your health and you have anxiety, then take diazepam or something. Well, that's pretty addictive also, but you need to overcome your mental roadblocks by yourself. There's not a single steroid out there that can overcome mental roadblocks. If anything, it makes it worse. Can Primo Mastodon be interchangeable mid-cycle? Primo starting to break the bank, but loving the dry look whilst also running tests. From my personal experience and opinion, I would say that Mastodon is not very anabolic. But if you want a cheaper option than test in Primo, and let's say you're running 500 test, 500 Primo, then maybe you run 500 mastestrone and 700 testosterone. I think you get a similar look, but it should be a little bit cheaper. Yeah, so you up the test and add in the same dose of mastestrone that you were running Primo volume-wise. So you have a little bit more testosterone for anabolism. And then see how you look, right? You use tested an aromatase inhibitor. You look pretty dry in that as well. What are your thoughts on PPR delta agonism as a PD, such as telmisartan? Telmisartan is not a performance-enhancing drug. It's a blood pressure medication. If you get any additional fat loss or anabolism, or not anabolism, performance boost out of that, minimal. Minimal. Compare 80 milligrams telmisartan to 10 milligrams cardarine, and then you'll know. Cardarine has performance-enhancing benefits, but telmisartan is just a blood pressure medication. It's the same as using the Bivol as a fat burner, right? Oh yeah, it stimulates the beta-3 adrenergic receptors and might help with fat loss. Dude, it's like negligible. Negligible. If you were to conduct your own study, which steroid would you study and write a paper on? I would do a Trenbolone study on humans. Yeah. There's none. There's none. Ment has like, I don't know, 10 studies on humans. Trenbolone is like 650 studies on animals, but none on humans. I was able to find one citation about liver complications or liver health on Trend, but never the full publication. And I talked to somebody who might be able to get like Trenbolone studies. But he said he found something like on pregnant women and something that's completely irrelevant. So he's like, so far nothing, dude. So if any compound that needs to be studied, it's Trenbolone. And then what will we do? Just like you would do with a clinical trial, right? You get like 200 people together. So if you have 0.5%, that's one person that shows adverse effects. And then you go through the safety and efficacy data of 6 months of Trenbolone at 50 milligrams a week. That's what I would like to research, with neuroimaging and see if the amyloid plaque beta is actually an issue. I'm not really sure if you could do that with an MRI or you need to take biopsies, because I believe that the 1 or 2 animal studies that did amyloid beta plaque buildup in the brain on rodents was biopsies. So good luck stabbing humans every week with a needle through the nasal cavity. So yeah, safety and efficacy data on Trenbolone. It's one of the most popular and the most romanticized steroid out there, and there's no human data on it. So if I were to conduct my own study, that would be the compound. For the community, for the horde, for the horde. Oh, dude, IGF-1R3 SubQ or local? Local, dude. Local. Just do it local. Steve went through all the stages of grief of being called Uncle Steve throughout this stream. Yeah, I've come full circle and now I'm at acceptance. But I was very angry about it. Yeah. I'm not an uncle. I'm a pervert though. So maybe I'm an uncle. Take note, kids. Together, autism will make something stick. Yeah. Any experiences diazepam and tesofensine? No. I never taken diazepam, but tesofensine I took for a couple days and made me feel very wired, just like dihexa. What's next? Scrolling down a bit. Have you ever heard of people getting trigger finger from GH or just the hand numbs in the morning? A lot of people get that, dude. Taurine and potassium. Look into that. What take on neuroprotection while running test Deca and Primo? There's no steroids are neuro safe. Testosterone is less neurotoxic than the other ones because it converts into estradiol, and estradiol is Might be somewhat neuroprotective, but I think it's the fact that testosterone converts into estradiol that is less neurotoxic than the other ones, because they don't convert. Neuroprotection from steroids, good luck, man. Look in the fitness industry. See a lot of neurotoxicity there. I see a lot of toxicity in general. But yeah. Uh, I volunteer for the study. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I can keep all my variables the same. Is carding cancer concerns worth staying away? I don't know. I mean, scientific evidence is very wishy-washy. There's 20 studies that show that cardine causes cancer, and then there were 8 to 10 studies that show that cardine can be cancer protective. I mentioned that in the cardine deep dive. Let me link it down below. The weird thing is that the cancer protective dose of cardine might be higher than the cancer inducing dose. So maybe first you have to get cancer, and then you can take more cardine to prevent the same cancer that cardine caused. This is why sometimes the scientific evidence is. I've never known anybody to get cancer from using cardine, though. And there's plenty of SARM goblins or SARM-like goblins that have taken cardine. There would have been a case report by now. All right, where are we? How could we leverage AI for performance? I know you could ask AI to write you a diet, right? And I write you a training program, and then follow that. See if that works. Or you're trying aromatase inhibitors? Well, you can use that to increase your testosterone levels. That's what it does, and that's probably good for performance also. Ever heard of No. Let me Google that. Idebenone. Initially developed by Tate Pharmaceuticals for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease and cognitive effects. I would stay away from Alzheimer's medications, man. A lot of people that touch these kinds of drugs, they lose their mind. Oh, it's a short chain coenzyme Q10. Okay, that might be interesting. Nootropic effect. Well, let me save this and then I'll look into it later. But no, I have not tried that. Kind of done experimenting, man. Kind of bored with it all. I would just want some fucking stability in my life, okay? I've sacrificed my body for the community more than enough. Tate. All right, is there a question attached to that? I don't see it yet. Remind me if I don't answer. Is minoxidil suppression of the androgen receptor substantial enough not to risk it? I mean, the amount of issues and consultations that I have, libido related to minoxidil and finasteride and ketoconazole, it's quite astounding. And I don't mind taking the money, but I would rather not have people take megadoses of minoxidil or ketoconazole or finasteride solo or in combination. Now, if you use a topical solution sparingly, okay, go for it. Go for it. But I just see so many side effects. I just see so many side effects with these kinds of medications, man. So that's why I rarely talk about it. Is Adderall still performance enhancing for long endurance sports? I don't know. When I got to the stimulants and I started doing research for the endurance deep dive, I just realized that there's so many stimulants, and then most of them are, I don't know, kind of overplayed. So I started using it and feel like my cardio endurance has gone to shit during long basketball practices. Well, it's a vasoconstrictor, and vasoconstriction reduces oxygen carrying capacity or oxygen delivery to skeletal muscle, and also nutrient delivery because the arteries are smaller. So there's the blood pressure goes up and there's less nutrients and oxygen and carbon dioxide that can be taken away. Right, so I would not use a vasoconstrictor. If anything, most bodybuilders should use vasodilators, whether that's adenosine monophosphate or Cialis or telmisartan or beta-alanine or citrulline malate or beetroot extract. That is very good for performance and endurance and stamina and just the delivery of nutrients and removing of metabolic weight products. And stimulants like caffeine, Adderall, etc., is good for maybe short stints of power, for like powerlifting, strongman, that kind of stuff. Strongman also has some endurance attached to it, so I would just stay away, man. I would stay away from those kinds of things if you're doing anything endurance. SARM-like goblin, yeah, those are like almost green, but they're still a bit pasty. SARM-like goblins are less goblins. Yeah, there you have the goblins and the ghouls, right? Um, Ghoul. Yeah, ghouls. SARM ghouls. Goblins. SARM ghouls. They only take cardrine and MK677. Definitely a lesser class. Yeah, they only live in the sewers. X-Men 97, talking about the sewers. X-Men 97 is fucking epic. God damn, I felt like a kid again. Yeah, that was good. Hey Steve, let's do a hypothetical. If you could only live off one of these brands for pre-workout, which one? Gorilla Mode or any of the Anabolics Anonymous? I'm gonna have to go with Anabolics Anonymous, man. Stampede is still my favorite, but Gorilla Mode is a close second. Yeah, fuck, man. Stampede is something else. I should be starting that up soon. Let me turn this up a bit. It's getting cold. Sorry, Derek. Yeah, you can't beat injectable stuff, man. I honestly can't pick. I can pick. It's too bad because I get the Gorilla Mode for free, but I don't get my Anabolics Anonymous for free. Well, I mean, I laundry some of the what is it called? The affiliate profits, right? So I never pay for it directly, but I just get less commissions. Yeah, Super Shredder and Stampede. Man, good shit. All right, here we go. Hey, Steve, I have a shoulder injury. Is it okay to take TB500? Yes. My doctor said it was a minor tear, which is not showing on the MRI no more, but I still feel pain. Is it okay to take TB500? Well, if it's a minor tear that is not showing up on the MRI machine, you probably don't need surgery. I would do a combination of TB500, BBC157, and GH. So you take 1 milligram TB500, split half a milligram morning and evening. 1 milligram BBC 157 split morning and evening, half a milligram. Intramuscular as close to the tear as possible. So if it's here in the front, you just keep circling around, add in the growth hormone or MK677, whenever you can get your hands on and what's the most convenient for you. Eat a lot of collagen, maybe take a little bit of Anavar, take a little bit of testosterone, improve collagen synthesis, and then give that like 4 weeks to 8 weeks. But if it doesn't improve and you still have a little bit of pain, then you might have to do surgery, right? I mean, a minor tear could be still so severe that you need reattachment. So, but give that a try. It's still cheaper than surgery. And of course, the scars that you get, the little pins and needle marks, right, through your skin, that's always going to be a lot less than the scar that you'll get from surgery. So it's worthy of an 8-week experiment. Yeah. Man, I'm really getting stuffy nose now. Where are we? I only prefer pharma grade, though. Never touch UGL. Good. Keep it that way. Keep it that way. Mm. So, do you think Cialis would be beneficial for endurance sports? Yes, they were even contemplating of adding that to the World Anti-Doping Agency prohibited list. Luigi Di Luigi was actually the guy that proposed that to water in a study. Let me link the Cialis video down below in case you haven't watched it yet. You can follow the citations. I think it's one of the more latest articles. And yeah, that's what they recommended, but it hasn't been added yet. Maybe it would counteract some of the vasoconstrictive effects. So, guys, again, don't take vasodilators and vasoconstrictors at the same time. Um, you're sending mixed signals. You just take vasodilators. And if you want to increase your blood volume, have some sodium, which will also help with loss of electrolytes where you're doing endurance sports because you're sweating so much. Right? You know, Jack 3D and all those very stimulatory. There's two kinds of people. There's two kinds of people. Let me break it down very easy for you. Let me remove this. There's two kinds of people. The people that take vasodilators pre-workout and vasoconstrictors pre-workout. Guess which one is bigger and has better endurance? The vasodilators. The vasoconstrictor people, they take the vasoconstriction to combat something that is not there or to compensate for something that is not there, right? A lack of power output. So they need to increase power output by constricting the blood vessels. And the people who take vasodilators do so because they have so much power output that they know that if they take anything that is not a vasodilating, that their blood pressure would be way too high and that their blood would shoot out of their nose, their ears, and their eyes like a freaking samurai movie. There's two kinds of people. What kind of person are you? I'm a vasodilating guy. I like engorgement and pumps and big veins and manage blood pressure so my kidneys don't explode. And then you have the Jack 3D guys. We're all small. They all wear a tank top, white tank top usually. They got broccoli haircuts. I don't know, an earring, right? That is a cross and some tattoos, and they look very generic, like they just came out of the cloning machine. They might have 1 million followers on Instagram. God knows why. They probably make like $50,000 worth of affiliate sales because they're in that little circle of circle jerking teenage boys that love that kind of stuff. But the intelligent people, the accomplished people, they take vasodilators. It's that simple. Fitness is like a pyramid. The bottom are the vasoconstrictor guys, and at the top there's the vasodilator guys, the guys that train hard and know what they're doing. But at the bottom, as you can clearly see from the pyramid, at the top the pyramid is not very wide, so there's not so many people. But at the bottom, there's a fuckload of people, all the noobs and the beginners, and they're all taking vasodilators, vasoconstrictors. That's why Jack 3D sold very well. And Anabolic Anonymous Stampede does not sell very well because there's not so many people who can handle that shit. Enough ranting. Oh, man. We're going to go for 15 more minutes and then I'm going to throw in the towel. Bro, just talking about double coffee. A double coffee I do like, though. Yeah. I love stims. Yeah, well, sorry. I hate to burst your bubble. Would caffeine be on the WAD list if it was discovered recent? No, it was on the WAD list, but they took it off. Because they got sued by Starbucks. Because Starbucks is at every, what is it? Every Olympics. No, not really, but a Stampede is a vasodilator. That was a good explanation. Yeah, maybe I should write that down. Let me send it to my editor. I wanted to post one today. I'll post it after we're done. I'll remind it. But yes, I'm tiny compared to you, Steve, so I might as well be a little girl, and many of your theory is correct. Hate to burst your bubble, bro. Man. Let's see if we got something fun. Man, my cognition is declining by the minute. My respawn is wearing off. It's like today was really bad. That you feel the sickness like coming on by the hour. So the whole day I just watched a 3 Body Problem, like episode 4 to 8, and I'm just sitting there, just zoning out. Good stuff though. Would you not care at all about low SHBG if libido is there? Free T is high, but not stupidly, and everything else is feeling good. Tried everything to raise it, but now I wonder why bother. I mean, if you feel good, it's almost an impossible task, man, to raise SHBG. I mean, I've seen guys with single digit SHBG 4, 6 nanomoles per liter, and they feel fine. So if there's nothing to fix, then don't fuck with it. But if your libido is poor and your estradiol is high because your SHBG is low, then yeah, you might need to do something to fix it. So first you have to pinpoint the problem, and then you have to pinpoint the root cause, and then address it, obviously. Libido cash flow. Anything besides HCG to combat testicular atrophy. I feel like 10 units HCG 3 times a week isn't as effective anymore. Well, 10 units is peanuts. I also have a video about this. Where did my walnuts go? Oh, well, what is the title? What's the best place to inject steroids? Nuts? The cure for tiny nuts and loads. FSH will give you bigger nuts than the HCG, but FSH is expensive. 75 IUs 3 times per week. And now let me throw in the monstrous loads with the best thumbnail ever. People are like, who are those girls? I linked the video where that fucking thumbnail is coming from right at the description. It's from the Wonder Girls. What was the name? I Feel You from the Wonder Girls 8 years ago. And this video is great. So yeah, FSH, man. It is the way to go. But maybe you should increase the HCG to 500 IUs instead of 10 IUs. That's very budget. What do you expect? I'm going on TRT, 30 milligrams a week. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I don't want to spam the chat, but can you tell me if you intentionally skipped my question? All right, somebody feels entitled. Did you super chat? Did you super chat? I get a lot of super chats and membership questions. Those go first. I know, I don't see your question, buddy. I don't answer all questions. Oh, here it is. I'm cutting 650 tests, 1,000 EQ pin daily. My plan is to lower the EQ and introduce Anavar 50 milligrams a day. I'm sensitive to stimulants, but is there anything else you would recommend? I don't fucking know. Do what you want. You already made up your mind. I would recommend you to do some blood work. How about that? But next time I will skip your question intentionally. Yes. Yes. Good idea. Yeah. Blue STI knows. Alex, too many people in here. Hard for him to get to every question. There's 215 people in the chat. There's not 200 likes. Let me check how many likes there are. 88 likes. But there's 200 people in the chat, and there will probably be like 1,600 people checking in. But 88 likes. So, I know. You guys, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Next week, 100% of you like, and I'll get to 100% of the questions. Deal? Deal? Let's see. Let's see. I don't think it's going to happen. My SHBG was 5. Libido was gone. High estrogen sides. Currently, HCG monotherapy. Can't wait to get back on. Hopefully, not crush it this time. No Anavar for me. Okay. Yeah, well, it should be a lot better in 4 weeks. And then check where your SHBG is at. The Wonder Girls. Well, I'm such an uncultured swine. I had no ideas who the Wonder Girls are. You don't know who the Wonder Girls are? Fuck, man. Clearly hasn't been living in Asia. I'm living in Asia, and then check out Twice. And who else? Girls' Generation. That's a little bit old. Twice is okay. I like Twice. Good stuff. When you live in Asia, you gotta adapt, man. Gotta adapt. K-pop is everywhere. You can't escape it. Your uncle, do you think field athletes, discus, javelin, shot put at the Olympics are all juicy as fuck? Well, the NDAs that I signed with them prevent me from saying yes. So maybe? Dude, all these guys are juicing, man. Fuck. You know how much is at stake? $108 likes. How much are we now? I gave up, man. 116. I gave up, dude. No more asking for likes. No more asking for comments. It's just, if you want to do it, you do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. But if I disappear one day because it's no longer worth my time, then, well, it's your fault. Where did Steve go? He didn't get enough likes. You need surgery. Oh, I thought you were saying that to me. Can you get rid of puberty gyno without surgery? No, you need surgery. Yeah, you need surgery. Testosterone cypionates, 250 milligrams per week. Anavar, 40 milligrams per day. Nice. That's a lot. Could I take 40 milligrams for on workout days and 20 milligrams on rest days, or should I divide it 2 times a day or all pre-workout? I would take it pre-workout. If you, I mean, you're missing out on 40 milligrams Anavar per week, per week. If you go from 20 to 40 and you're training 5 days a week, or from 40 to 20, 2 days a week. So, is that really worth is your money going to be less, or your liver enzymes or cholesterol levels less fucked? I don't think so. So just take 40 milligrams a day, man. But I can't run more than 25 milligrams a day. Otherwise, my heart goes fucking ballistic. I have a video about that. It's called Angina, the movie. This is not the angina you're looking for. Oh. Anavar. 20 videos on Anavar. Wow. Wow. First, nobody's like, how can you? Can't you run more than 80 milligrams Anavar? No, I use pharmaceutical Anavar. And that shit is fucking strong. I stocked up, so I have a lot of it. Yeah. Marco, have you ever tried modafinil or Ritalin? What do you think about using them for ADHD, and what about the dosage? Well, I don't have ADHD. I use modafinil for maybe 5 years straight, 50 milligrams per day. I never like Ritalin. I took 2.5, 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, and it made me feel weird all the same. So I think a low dose modafinil goes a very long way, but I stopped taking it because it's not good for fertility. And I haven't really felt the need to reintroduce it because I got Gorilla Mode Respawn, and that's free. And I still have a boatload of modafinil. I use it when I skip time zones. So the last time I came back from the US, you know, then you take modafinil for like 3 days to kind of adjust, acclimatize to the new time zone change, and then I stopped taking it again. Yeah, I haven't really felt the need to take it. So, attention deficit disorder, you can also do a ketogenic diet. It's also pretty good for ADHD. So, but if you combine modafinil with ADHD or with a ketogenic diet, then you're obviously even more focused. And then uninstalling TikTok and Instagram will also help. Yeah. All right. 130 likes, 130 answers. Yeah. That's never going to happen. 20 videos on Anavar. Wow. Yeah. And I still get Anavar questions every day. So what's the point? I should just do these live streams. I think if I do these live streams and everybody super chats, let's say I do like 5 live streams a week, I'll make like 350 times 5 times 4.5. I'll make $8,000 a month. It's more than I'm making now. We should just stop making videos and just do live streams and just only do super chats of $5 and up. I'll make 1.5 times more on YouTube, and I'll probably spend less time. I'll probably spend less time too because I spent so much time preparing for those videos. Think you make more money on live? Yeah, true. Yeah, let's see. I make. Let me see. What is the previous live stream? Previous live stream, 50 milligrams Anavar a year and 15,000 views. Analytics, 300. And then that one. But then, of course, if I do it every day, then you guys get bored. This one, low dose Anavar. What? These are not. Oh, these are a search for Anavar. It's like, where's my latest live streams? Steroids boost metabolism. Analytics, 270. Yeah, so let's say I make like $300 per live stream after YouTube takes all the fees. So where are we? 300 times 5 times 4.5, 6,750. Divided by 5. Yeah, make like 1.5 times as much. Then again, but I still get consultations. If everybody has access to me 24/7 for $10, probably not. Steve, getting files for Chase Iron supplements? Hell yes. Hell yes, dude. Chase knows what he's doing. And I one time he showed me his like the back end of his sales program, and he's got so many recurring customers, so it must be good, dude. He knows what he's doing, dude. You're like Google, paid to search shortcut. Yeah. Yeah, this is what it is, man. This is the life I chose. Mitch, I don't really understand how you're not more popular with the amount of quality information you give. Because not everybody is after quality information. Most people are after entertainment. And I'm somewhat entertaining, but you know, maybe I'm muted by YouTube. Maybe people just don't give a shit. Maybe I'm not as good as people think that I am. I don't really know, and I don't really care. I make enough money. I invest all my money. I'm close to retirement, so at one point I'm kind of done with it. Especially when I have kids, I'll go to 4 hours per day instead of 12 hours per day working. So it is what it is, man. I'm financially secure, and I have been for a very long time. So I don't. There's no there's no super incentive to grow this YouTube channel to 1 million or 2 million followers like so many other channels do, because they're driven by money. But they only have one source of income. Like I'm driven by money also, but I don't have one source of income. So it's not something I need to do. So I make videos that I'm proud about, that I'm interested in. And if they don't get so many views, then so be it. At least I had a good time making them. And maybe in 5 years when I retire, then people realize what they've lost. You guys remember Vigorous Steve? Fuck man, that guy was good. I don't know what happened to him, but he disappeared one day. People never really know until it's gone. Man, YouTube is not really for making money anymore. Just start free info and growing audience. You need big teats, want to have brain cells to make money, just views. Yeah. So I mean, there's not so many people who do what I do, right? We can basically count it in one or two hands. I have the biggest education platform on YouTube now. That's consistent, at least. And I don't think that anybody is as in depth as this YouTube channel. There's plenty of smart people out there, but they don't put the production value in it. And then we have the membership websites, but I don't know. I signed up to a couple of membership websites back in the day, and I found the information lackluster, or at least what I want to see. And can my information be better? Of course, but you're not paying for it, so you can't complain. You're getting it for free. You know? Like Wednesday an hour? Nah. I got a wife, man. I got a life. This is more than enough. This is more than enough. And let's be honest, did you guys miss me last Saturday? No, you guys didn't miss me. Suppose it's a drama that gets all the views. Yeah, it's true, man. Verbal diarrhea. That gets the views. Thoughts on testosterone isocuprate? I've heard it being able to get brewed at higher concentrations than MCT. I have no idea. I mean, it's part of Cystanone, but that's about all I know. I haven't used Cystanone in ages. Put some respect on Uncle Steve name before he's gone. Yeah. What is it? Van Gogh Steve? I'll have to cut my ear off. Lol. All right, guys, let's throw in the towel. I'm getting more tired. Getting more tired. Thoughts on steroids? I fucking love them, dude. Steroids are my life. All right, let's throw in the towel. I'm a little bit sickly. Hopefully next week I can record something. I have the HCG deep dive almost completed, and the Nandrolone videos also almost done. So hopefully I can record both of those next week. But I'm still a bit off from going to China. It's my own doing, all the drinking and all the eating. And I have a lot of consultations, usually like July for all the entrepreneurs out us. May, June, July. And the first, second week of August, it's like prime time to make money. So I might make less videos, but don't worry, I'm still getting paid. But it's all the personalized services. Like May, what is it, last month? May was insane. May was fucking insane. So I expect that to continue into June and July. And of course, if I have 2 or 3 hours of consultations every day, that's what I'm going to prioritize because that's what's paying the bills. It's not the YouTube channel. So I'll still be here for the occasional video. But since I only make good videos and not make videos for the sake of making videos, once the videos drop, it will be good. But it might mean less videos over the next couple of months because personalized services is what I'm going to do first. And there's only so many hours in the day. Okay, guys. Peace out. We'll see you next weekend. Hopefully, it will be some good stuff. And well, that's about it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.